Hey everybody, welcome back. My ex-fiance wants to meet up after leaving me at the altar 4 years ago.
No. Hell no.
This was posted in the subreddit Relationship Advice. Basically, 4 years ago, I, female 29, was supposed to be getting married to my fiance at the time, Jay. Everything was going perfect. I was in my dress, I had my makeup on, and taking pictures with my bridesmaids. I was pretty much ready to walk down the aisle when Jay's best man pulled me to the side and said Jay was gone. Why all the drama, man? Like, why all the drama? He had gotten into a car and left, and no one was able to get a hold of him. Absolutely not. No, he did not. No, but he did. He did do that. I came home to our apartment and all his stuff was gone. Ugh, trifling. Just packed up and left and not a word, eh? He's been pretty much a ghost ever since he left me and I had to force myself to move on. I ended up going on our honeymoon with my best friends. How very Sex in the City of you. Wait, is this the plot of Sex in the City? Which was the best decision ever, and then put myself in therapy to heal the horrible trust issues I now have. I haven't heard from him once until today. I understand why you have trust issues, but also I feel like this is something that's very, very rare. It's so rare that every time we do hear about it, it's like, ain't no way. Ain't no way in hell. What a coward. I just don't get how you maybe you have reservations about someone that you're marrying, but if you have those reservations, I don't think that they would just pop up the day you're getting married. I think that they would probably be something that you feel for a long time. I guess he got back in contact with an old mutual friend who gave him my number. No, but who told him to do that?
What were you thinking?
Jay texted me and said he wants to meet up and apologize. Girl, he's not apologizing to make you feel better. He's apologizing to make himself feel better. He says he has a lot of explaining to do about what happened that day. I'm torn. I swore Jay was a dead memory, but my curiosity and desire to get closure with him is pestering me. My current boyfriend supports me, whatever I decide, and I feel out of respect for him and how wonderful he's been, I should ghost. I'm very confused. I never expected to hear from Jay again. I have no idea what to do. Please help. I do have to say I'm rather curious.
I am sickened, but curious.
I'm not sure I would, but sometimes I imagine what it would be like to meet up with people from my past who hurt me just to see what they have to say.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Can I get a caramel macchiato?
Do it for the plot and come back and tell us what happened. I mean, definitely talk to your current boyfriend and ask him. I don't know if he's going to be cool with it. It will probably cause a rift in your relationship if you do want to go and meet up with your ex, because it's what could happen? But I'm curious. I'm definitely curious, because what could have possessed him to just leave out of nowhere? No explanation, no note, nothing, just ghosted you. It can't be a very good explanation. So we do have an update. First off, I just want to thank everyone for the advice. I honestly wrote the post to just vent my frustration and confusion and possibly get advice. I forgot about the post for a few days until my sister and I were talking and she mentioned she saw a post from some girl getting left at the altar and her ex showing up again 4 years later. I told her it was mine and she's been pushing me to do an update. I figured it might be therapeutic to write everything down as a final closing of the J chapter. This all happened 2 weeks ago. Okay, I'm glad that you got closure. This is good. I feel like it's good. I really hope it wasn't a situation that was just
I just wasn't ready. I'm ready to marry you now.
Because that whole Carrie plot in Sex in the City was
bombastic side eye.
Against most of the advice. I mean, not my advice.
I was right.
I did meet up with Jay. As a lot of you said, it did not add any value to my life. Also, it was part of a 12-step program and he was making amends. Right, so what I said about him needing to do it for himself and not for you, that's true. We met up at a park and my boyfriend came with me. Oh, that's good. He sat off to the side while Jay and I talked. I actually feel stupider after meeting with him. It sometimes just really doesn't make sense to me to meet up with people whom you're at peace with not being in their life anymore. Because a few things could happen. Maybe they apologized profusely. Maybe there's a secret reason why they did what they did. That's maybe like a 5% chance. What will actually happen is excuses, gaslighting, manipulation, and zero apology. So I actually feel stupider after meeting with him. There were a lot of things in our relationship that would have had me out the door if I paid more attention and if he wasn't such a great liar. Basically, for the last year of our relationship, he was doing, we'll just call it party favors and cheating on me. Ooh, double blow.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
He's been struggling with his sexuality for years, and it's not surprising it ended up this way, now knowing the truth. His family are incredibly homophobic and horrible people. Okay. I wanted nothing more to do with them when we were together, but he insisted on them being around just for big life events like our wedding. The party favors were something to get him through the day and act like he was in love with me, when he was actually in love with someone else. Okay, like, I understand the confusion and the unwillingness to acknowledge that part of himself, but you were just collateral damage in all of this. This sounds like he's playing the victim here. And while it is an extraordinary circumstance, you and your life were just sort of like thrown in there, didn't matter what happened to you. He had met his boyfriend at work, and I'd actually met him a few times when I'd drop off lunch for Jay. When our wedding approached, his boyfriend said he needed to choose, and Jay chose him. Okay, again, it's like you knew all of this was happening. You guys paid for a wedding. You guys invited everybody. You made this person think that you were gonna spend the rest of your life with her. As much as I sympathize with someone who feels like they need to be in the closet, do not carry people along with you for collateral damage just to save face. So he packed up his bags and pretended everything was great until his boyfriend picked him up and they moved 2 towns over. I asked him if he was still with his boyfriend, and he said no. He thought he could quit the party favors once he was free of his family and lying, but he couldn't. His boyfriend found out and left him. He kept going and hooked up with randoms. Then something traumatic happened in relation to the party favors, and he realized he had to get sober. He apologized for not being honest with me and leading me on like he did. He wished he could go back and be truthful because I would have been the most accepting of him being gay out of everyone. He said he missed me when he left, even though he didn't love me romantically. I was his best friend. Okay, I'm sure he misses you and stuff, but like, let's not also forget everything that happened.
I miss me too.
He really was not fair to you, and again, I sympathize. I think this ended up being a good thing that you guys aren't together. Imagine you find out like after you have kids and stuff. Ooh, would have been much worse. Don't get me wrong, being left at the altar is very dramatic and terrible, and you probably needed a lot of therapy, but imagine what it would have been like if you guys were actually married and you had like children and a house together. It was a lot to take in. I told him while I'm glad he's okay and doing better, classy, I'd prefer for us to not have any contact moving forward, but I do forgive him. He said he understood and he was only in town for a few more days and he'd be gone for good again. I'll admit, when I got home, I cried. My boyfriend held me and ordered me my favorite takeout. He's been really the best and didn't pressure me to talk about anything until I was ready. So if I got anything out of the worst day of my life, it's led me to who I'm with now. And that's how you should think about it, right? When you're in the midst of something really terrible that's happening to you, it'll pass. It always does. While you might wonder,
Ugh, why didn't this happen for me? Why did this happen to me?
it's part of a wider picture. You just can't see it yet. All the comments that said it wouldn't add anything to her life are frustrating to me. Getting closure adds a lot. I'm very happy OOP's boyfriend went with her though. Always good to have a safety net. Yes, so my therapist would like me to get closure and to have conversations and all that jazz with people who've hurt me in the past.
I mean, that's a good point, but keep in mind that I don't wanna.
The thing is though, I'm not sure closure is what we think it is.
Am I a joke to you?
Like closure, I think in a lot of situations just makes you feel like you made the right decision. And whether that person had an excuse or not, you would be further validated in your choice to remove that person from your life if you had a conversation with them. Me personally, with the current situation going on in my life,
Lord, I think I just heard drama.
I don't really need that. Like, I'm still angry. I'm not sure a conversation would help things. I'm glad that this person apologized, for ruining your life. Least he could do. But I'm curious. Do you think it's better to have the conversation with the ex-friend, the ex-family member? Or do you think it's better just to let it lie, especially if you know exactly how the conversation will go? We got some more ex-wedding drama here, and I promise it's juicy. Mother-in-law invites husband's ex-girlfriend to our wedding. This story was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. Okay, everyone buckle up. I have a real doozy of a story I would like to share. Also, please note, English isn't my first language, so I apologize if I don't make any sense. Never apologize for being multilingual, my love. The only word I can say in Italian is Vaffanculo. I'd like to start off that my husband, let's call him John, 35 male, and I, 30 female, have been married for 5 years, together 6 years. When my husband and I started dating, my mother-in-law did not approve of our relationship. She still doesn't, but whatever. I'm not sure what I did to make her not like me, but anytime I tried to be nice and friendly with her, help her with anything, she would downright refuse. Over time, she started making remarks like, "You aren't John's type," or that his ex-girlfriend, let's call her Holly, was so much prettier and has a better personality than you do. Those comments really hurt. I think it's a little difficult to navigate something like this because clearly she wanted her son to end up with the ex. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter how nice you are. If someone decides that they're not gonna like you, they're just not going to like you. And as a recovering people pleaser, I know it's hard. Sometimes people just aren't going to like us.
Middle finger to my haters. Are you jealous?
When John and I got engaged, she lost her scheisse. One day out of the blue, she started asking if she could help with the wedding planning. And of course, me foolishly thinking maybe she's willing to bond with me, I accepted her help. I asked her to help with making decorations and filling out and sending out invites. And she seemed excited to do that. What I didn't know at the time is she wrote an invitation to Holly.
Oh, hell no!
Flash forward to the day of the wedding, everything was going smoothly and I assumed everything was going to be fine. As soon as my dad and I got to the church, we got inside. And before I walked down the aisle, I noticed my mother-in-law sitting right next to Holly, who was wearing a red dress. I never really learned this faux pas of wearing red to a wedding and how it kind of means that you slept with the groom. I personally like wearing red. It's nothing about being, sleeping with the groom. But I guess if there is some subtext there, it's almost as sassy as wearing white. Pretty diabolical. I noticed John did not look too happy with his mother at all. John started arguing with his mother that Holly was not welcome at our wedding. If she couldn't be happy for him, then she needed to leave the venue. What was the mother-in-law trying to do here?
I'll answer that for you. You weren't thinking.
John sees Holly in this red dress and he's like, "Oh, I've made a huge mistake. Sorry, I'm not marrying you anymore. Holly, let's go." Well, mind you, we're all here anyway, so why don't you just go sit down and I'll just marry my ex.
Huh?
My mother-in-law lost her scheisse on John. She told him he was crazy for marrying an ugly B-word language, and that him and Holly could have so much more beautiful babies. The Delulu is strong with this one. Holly tried telling John she still loved him and that he should ditch me and they could get married right there and then. Oh, wait, I was joking. I was kidding about that. Oh, she tried that. Oh. Bombastic side-eye! Side-eye, you can barely even see the side-eye. It's My maid of honor and John's brother both took Holly and their mother and tossed them out of the church. This is a house of God.
How dare you!
We were able to make it through the ceremony, but that situation left me all shocked. It doesn't end there, though. We get to the reception and everything was going smoothly until 2 hours in and mother-in-law and Holly decide to crash the reception. God, do I need security at my wedding? I'm hoping the fact that, I'm hoping the fact that I am doing a destination wedding that the undesirables will not fly all the way to the destination in order to crash it. But people really do be having the audacity. Holly trying to steal my husband's attention and grind all up on him. Security! Je téléphone à la police! I was sick and tired of looking at her and ended up punching her right in the mouth.
You go, girl.
Girl, I do not blame you. Oh, you didn't say mouth, you said eye. In the eye. Okay, eye leaves a nice mark. I do not condone violence. But in certain circumstances, I feel like sometimes it's deserved. I don't condone violence just because I don't want it to come back and bite you in the butt. But also, there really are some people who are not afraid of getting punched in the mouth, and it shows. My mother-in-law called me psycho and told John he's going to regret marrying me and that he was going to be cut out of her will. Oh no.
Our table is broken.
My husband told her to get the frick out and never speak to him or I again. To this day, we don't have contact with his mother at all. And from what we hear, she refuses to acknowledge our marriage and the fact that we have kids. My goodness. This is kind of messed up, and I'm sorry that your wedding was ruined by not only this Holly girl, who should have had the common decency to not accept the invite, especially if she still loved John and was like literally willing to ruin the wedding.
Have some decorum, for God's sake.
But like the mother-in-law, I'm baffled at how someone wants to control a situation so badly. Just stop it. Let it go. Let it go.
Can't hold it back anymore.
The mother-in-law is someone who loves having control and would do anything to get it. And I'm sorry, if the reason was,
You're gonna have more beautiful babies.
are we sure Holly is all natural? It's really a mixed bag now. Like, there's so many people with plastic surgery. It's a little hard to tell. You might think you're paying for one thing, you'll get another one, it pops out. Looks are a very superficial reason to want people to be together for. I can tell you firsthand, I've dated the really good looking ones. Oh, Mike is very good looking in my opinion, but I've dated, you know, the rich ones. I've dated the very ambitious ones, the good looking ones and the tall ones. Honestly, the better looking they are, the happier of a person they are. So just terrible. Looks really aren't everything. It's a really silly reason to want to be with someone, especially considering we're all going to be old and ugly at some point. It shows where the mother-in-law's priorities are and her values. The most important thing is you and John have each other's back. He cut out his mother for disrespecting his relationship and marriage. Yeah, I do have to say I'm very happy that your husband backs you up, because if he didn't, I'd be like, I wouldn't support your marriage. Like, let's just say that. Mother-in-law and Holly should feel lucky they only got thrown out, and Holly for getting only one punch. Two of them can be miserable together. Yeah, they could just marry each other. Am I the a-hole for kicking my mother out of my wedding after she brought my ex as her +1? Ooh, interesting. Interesting.
Interesting.
This is not the same person, just for the record. Oh, rise for the Honorable Judge Charlotte! I, male 30, started seeing June, female 29, about 3 years ago. My mother has never really liked June for a couple of reasons. The main one being the fact that June didn't let my mom push her around. She kept firm boundaries, which I really admired, and she even helped me do the same. My mom hated this. Moms really do hate boundaries, don't they?
I am your mother!
The minute that you tell your mom no, it's kind of like the whole world is ending. It's ridiculous. It's a travesty! My mom hated this, calling June controlling and wishing I hadn't broken up with my previous girlfriend, Margot, who my mom loved.
Because she could manipulate her.
I was with Margot for 5 years and it was horrible. Margot was very controlling and manipulative and always guilted me into things I wasn't comfortable with. Oh, okay. So she wasn't controlling and manipulative with your mom? But thanks to support from my friends and my sister, I was able to leave her. It was hard, but I had help and my life has improved since. My mom was very upset with this, but the relationships didn't last. So eventually she let it go until I started dating June about a year later. When June and I announced our engagement, my mom didn't freak out, which was weird considering my mom hates June. She was very calm, but took it as she was finally accepting this, and I didn't think much of it. Everything was fine and smooth until the wedding. I gave both my parents +1s to the wedding since they both remarried after I graduated college. So I'm not close to their spouses, but gave them the option of inviting them. We had a very small ceremony, just immediate family and a few close friends. After the ceremony, me and June went to take pictures, and then we met back with everyone we invited to the reception, which was pretty big. When we got there, my sister and June's friend / maid of honor ran up to us in a panic. Before they even said anything, I spotted it. My mom was at the table with my dad's wife, and Margot. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not a fan of like plus ones because I want to know who's coming to my wedding. The fact that your mom just kind of like went ahead and invited someone that wasn't like her spouse. I guess she could have just said that she was coming with her spouse and then came with Margot, but it's like, as a very controlling bride, I don't like this at all.
I am bridezilla.
I don't, man. Like, I'm making little place cards and like I'm designing them and I have little personalized gift bags. I don't want someone random to show up. I wanted to freak out, but June kept me calm. I walked over, pulled them both aside, and simply told them to leave. Quite frankly, I think that someone else should have told them to leave. I guess you saw her already, but like, what are like wedding parties for if not to like make sure that everything is running smoothly? My mom tried to explain Margot and I are soulmates and June is just in the way of true love, but I wasn't hearing it. I didn't care. Just got my best friends to escort them out. There you go. And I returned to the party where luckily after a few moments I was able to relax and enjoy it. I really didn't think this would all turn into something huge, but me and June just got back from our honeymoon and we didn't have our phones. And seeing mine, I saw hundreds of texts from multiple family members. They all think I was an a-hole for kicking my mom out of her only son's wedding. Let's all collectively decide that let's always wait to hear the other side of an argument before we decide who we support in a situation, in the drama, okay? I see it all the time on social media. Someone will go on social media, say a bunch of bull, and then everyone just like mass bullies someone. And then sure enough, it comes out that this person was lying or cherry picking the truth. The damage has been done at that point. Let's learn to move in the shadows and to wait to hear both sides before we make a decision about who we're gonna hate. For the record, she was there for the ceremony, but apparently was really upset she was kicked out from the reception. Here's a summary of my family's thoughts. Some think I could have just ignored Margot and didn't have to freak out. Absolutely not. No. You didn't have to, quote,
Freak out.
so to speak, but she definitely needed to be removed from the wedding. A few others, including my dad, think I should have just kicked Margot and let my mom stay, but after the stunt my mom pulled, I didn't want her there either. I mean, she watched you get married, she just wasn't there for the reception. I'm starting to second guess myself since everyone is really mad. June and my sister are on my side, but I fear my dad might be right. And I should have just let my mom stay and made Margot leave. So I've come to Reddit. Am I the a-hole? Judging by how much audacity your mom has, I feel like she would have tried to ruin the wedding in some other way if you had let her stay. I think that doing something like this really shows that number one, you have no decorum, and number two, you have no respect for your son or his bride. So like, what is to stop her? You know, you kick Margot out, you let the mom stay, okay? In a perfect world, she sits quietly and, you know, doesn't say a word. Bygones can be bygones and everybody forgets, but like, I feel like this is a sign that she would have found some other way to ruin the wedding or pour wine on the bride's dress or like, you know, whatever. This is not like a logical person that we're dealing with. The people that are, you know, not on your side, that think, you know, oh, you could have let her stay or whatever, they're also being manipulated by your mother. When you think about it, on paper, kicking your mother out of your wedding, that's a mean thing to do, but we have to remember all the subtext behind it. Did your mother tell everyone that she tried to ruin your wedding by inviting your ex?
Hey, I doubt it.
Probably made it sound better than what it actually is, right? I think you're not the a-hole. I think you did what you needed to do, but let's see what everybody else had to say. Top comment, not the a-hole. Here's what you say. My wife and I will not be starting our marriage life together, tolerating disrespect and sabotage. Mom's actions were beyond reprehensible, disgusting, and more than deserving of being removed from a celebration of my beautiful wife and I committing our lives to each other. You are more than welcome to allow toxic people to destroy your happy moments, but this is not something I will tolerate for myself or my wife. Period. Anybody who thinks that your mother should stay in that situation, they don't got any balls.
Let's just let people treat us okay. I don't want to upset the people that are doing horrible things to me.
Who gives a Live your life. OP, please send this to everyone and block those who are defending your mom's actions. Not the a-hole, by the way. Why is it that you're expected to keep the peace when your mom disrespected you and your wife on your wedding day? I'd consider no contact too after this whole thing with your mom, OP. I think no contact is definitely in order. Everybody thinks you're the a-hole when you're reacting to someone's disrespect. Why is it that no one thinks the person who caused the disrespect in the first place is the a-hole?
But we're family.
Well, the mother kind of forgot that they were family when she invited his ex to the wedding. You are not the a-hole, my dear. This is good.